Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the
Choose your
SMSU
agent.
Valorant game. We're live here for this tournament first round here for SMSU. Today we have the Piece of Bread, the Beast Mod, Awoken, Jackson, and Eric the Great taking on the OCU Esports team of Elias, Coop, Ulquiorra, Aikido, and Atlantis Helsing. I'm Afro here with one of my newest partners, Frozen. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm excited to see what we're about to do here. And I mean, we're on Ascent right now, which is a pretty good map for SMSU. I've seen them play this on multiple occasions, so I'm honestly excited to see how they do here. If you guys uh, didn't know, we had a scrimmage not too long ago, a couple days ago, in fact, and SMSU really had a strong showing in that game, and so I'm ready to see how they are now in a competitive field. Now, for officially, I should say, and you can see that as of right now, a lot of SMSU is kind of spread out across all of the maps. You have a little bit of Sova jet action on A for the OCU team, and then of course in mid you have Astra, Killjoy, and Skyer in
Going
B,
Astro, guys.
and they're setting stuff up here. A lot of utility on B for sure from Killjoy and Astra, so they're definitely making sure to stop that.
I need a stop.
And as we start here, the Sova dart goes out. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a B push here from Jackson and Sova, of course. They're definitely expecting this. And as we look here, a lot of OCU is definitely on point here. They're definitely watching B as hard as they can, but you can see they're slowly starting to back off a little bit. Aikido watching that mid-cat range just to make sure they're not going for the rotate through mid. And actually, SMSU is just deciding to just go for the full stack on B while everyone else on OCU is completely turned around. But Ulquiorra is right there to catch him off guard. The dog does go in, and they do get the kill on Ulquiorra from Awoken, as it now becomes a 4-5 situation. The door is beginning to close. Atlantis Helsing takes out the Beast Mod, with the Piece of Bread taking out Helsing there, as they now begin to take full control of B. They're planning the spike. And you can see they're starting to come in through alley CT, just making sure with the jet on the flank. Elias does take the kill from Jackson, picks up another classic. He has the dart out. Gonna try and go for some shock darts. Aikido doesn't even see the Piece of Bread as he gets taken out. And also the kill from the Piece of Bread to Coop, with Awoken taking out Elias. And that's gonna be a win there for SMSU. Great job there by SMSU. It started off a little bit rocky just because of the fact that they were moving around so much, but once they had a plan set in motion, they really started to get in there and really take control, and we saw that right there in that matchup. So now we're entering round 2, as it looks like they're going to be going for a split. You can see that 2 members of SMSU is going on toward mid side, with the rest of them going toward A. A lot of utility still being thrown out here from the Killjoy, so he's definitely expecting a push up B. But it looks like a lot of the action is taking place on that other side. The dart has been shot out, so he's definitely going to get some intel, and you can definitely see that they're starting to move out of that area. And Coop is watching to make sure that they might go for that flank, possibly going for that rotation. And Aikido got hit a couple of times, but it is backing off, going toward the back here. And you can see that this is starting to go very slowly. They didn't have as much of a footing in this round as they did before, but they're starting to make some moves. As Awoken does take out Aikido, that's going to open up an opportunity for them to push into A. And of course, the mid-battle, Jackson unable to pick up the kill for Coop as it becomes a 4-4 situation. And as I say that, the Beast Mod takes out Elias, opening up A for sure to be planning down the spike. The door is being closed. They have full control of A. Now it's time to just set up some situations for that retake. The smoke's being thrown out for Jet. Ulquiorra is watching. So is Coop. This could be a big play, but the Beast Mod does take out Coop, and Awoken takes out Ulquiorra, leaving just Helsing to do what he has to do. Gets a couple of shots on Sky, but is not down yet. And I think at this moment, you'd have to think about what you want to do. They're definitely going to try and come after you. There's the flash. flash. Is going to go for it. Does not get the kill on the piece of bread as he just domes him there with the kill. It's now 2-0. SMSU up here in this first round. This is a best of 3. So at this point, you know, if SMSU does take the win, OCU still has that opportunity to come back and possibly reverse sweep. So won't count them out just yet. Still a really strong start from SMSU. The econ is really good. I mean, it's a little bit staggered on the other end, but when you're round 3 this deep, I'm not going to be surprised if it is a little bit staggered. Aikido watching down mid. He definitely saw that. He's definitely going to be relaying that to his team, that somebody was at least in mid. And as he lays there watching, yeah, he gets him. Just an arm is all you need. It takes him out. Beastmod out with the op shot. He's still going to make sure his mid's clear. And on the B side, a lot's going on. A little bit. Astra and Sova watching. The dog does go out. He has the information. Let's see what he does with it. Aikido takes out Jackson with the, my goodness, wall bang. My goodness, Spike is down now. They're going to have to figure out what to do here. I'm sure Sova probably picked up the Spike and is going to probably start moving. Yeah, he gets absolutely destroyed. Killjoy's coming up now with Jet. They're definitely going to try and commit to this B push, but you can see Astra starting to move around in mid. Going to watch that rotation. With Jet coming in with the op. And it starts to become one of those situations where you really just have to play it slowly and safely. You can see that the definitely in deep trouble, but Awoken does get a pick off, but is immediately traded with Helsing. But the piece of bread's going to try and hold out as much as he can. He's going up to challenge the op, but is shot in the back by Helsing. That's going to take him out, and that's going to be OCU's first win in this matchup. Now 2-1. And at this point, looking at how they're doing, you can see on the side of SMSU, a lot of econ, a lot of rifles. They're still doing pretty well right now. Pretty high up in ults. You at least have Jet with ult. You have, you know, 2 ults ready and some almost being ready. Meanwhile, in OCU, still looking a little iffy, but with that win, they definitely have some momentum on their side. And as you can see here, it's a full stack on B with 1 going mid just to make sure no one's watching that way. That Jet with the op was a little dangerous last time, so would not be surprised if that was going to be one of their biggest threats. Piece of Bread does put up the turret, and it's going to be starting to use the lockdown here for the ult to help them with that push. Awoken takes out Ulquiorra, and the push begins. They're starting to head in. Helsing is still in that dome, and he's going to have to get out of there if he doesn't want to get detained. He's going to risk it, and Eric the Great does take him out, but without Helsing taking out the piece of bread right beforehand. And Jackson begins to start the plant. Aikido watching with that planted. Op. He's been very dangerous with the op lately, so if you're caught in his sights, it's more or less game over here.
Right there.
He does get the kill on Beastmod, but Awoken's able to trade it off. Eric the Great takes out Elias, leaving Astra by herself. And the question comes is, does she want to save or does she want to at least try and go for it here? And it looks like she's going to try at least to go for it. Here comes the Jet with the flank, and Awoken gets it with that aggro play. They're now 3-1. Great plays there by SMSU, able to just put down the bomb, make sure they know where she was. They weren't going to push her all the way. Just let her come to them, and when the opportunity arose, they just took advantage of it. So good job there from them. And on the side of OCU, they have strong plays. I mean, with Jet on the op, it's pretty dangerous. But if your team isn't able to make up for those, it can be pretty disastrous.
Placing sentry.
Turret is up. And they're definitely setting up some of the same util just to help out with a little bit if they try to push. Aikido watching just a classic too, and now Awoken has the op. How the tables have turned indeed for Aikido. Now the one being hunted by Awoken. You are watching in the garage, making sure no one comes that way with Aikido around the flank, but it's immediately shut down by Eric the Great, who just annihilates him. And you can see SMSU starting to move up, starting to push up toward B. They've had some good luck on B, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep doing it.
I've got your trail.
The Seekers are out. It's going to be pretty bad if they don't know what to do here. Stormbot's taken, but OCU takes out the Beast Mod. Jackson takes out Atlantis Helsing. With the piece of bread taking out Ulquiorra, it's now a 2v4. Don't even need to plant the spike, but they're going to do it for that econ. For sure, for sure.
Spike
now,
planted.
Astra, again, with just a ghost, is going to try and do a 1v4. Definitely in a tight spot. And you can see they're all posted up watching the market in case something happens. And as soon as she makes a move, SMSU will be on it. And at this point, it comes down to whether or not they want to try it. And it comes down to a piece of bread will take out Coop, putting him out. Great plays, good plan for econ, and they're looking real strong right now. And as we head into round 6, again, this game has been in SMSU's control for a very long time. They still have a chance to come back here. The half doesn't come up till around 12, I believe, so they should be able to do quite a bit in that amount of time. And surprisingly, there hasn't been much change in OCU's lineups of where people go. And even though they don't do as well, it still puts them in a tight situation. So, Aikido now watching A main. They're expecting a push from A. And yeah, missed the op shot there, but does get the turret out. But that's gonna definitely put them in a bad spot. As SMSU is starting to move away from that position. They knew that the op was there. There's no point challenging it, and they're gonna move away from that. Now it's up to OCU to be able to at least predict that they're moving this way now, that they're starting to make that push. You can see that Astra smoke definitely obscuring a lot of the vision for SMSU. They're kind of delaying their push a little bit.
Revealing area.
Elias shoots the dart into mid to make sure no one's going there, and he does spot someone. So that has to cement their theory that they have to be pushing at this point if they weren't thinking it already. And as the push begins, they know they're in a desperate situation. Atlantis Helsing takes out Jackson with a headshot.
30 seconds
down. And again, being marked by the arrow. Not very fun. Elias does take out the Beast Mod, and Awoken has no idea, and my goodness, the flawless there by OCU as they were able to take out SMSU. They put them in a very bad spot. They started in A, the op pushed them out, and then as soon as they were in garage, it just became a dire situation. The econ, though, still looking pretty nice. Eric the Great is kind of low on econ, so maybe he's going to have to save at some point. Hopefully, if he gets some big kills this game, though, who knows, you know. Now,
swarm grenade.
looking like about the same setups as before. Nothing's really changed. I mean, if it still works, no point in changing it. You have Jackson kind of posting into mid with Killjoy and Sky kind of hanging out on Cat A. Spike is on A side mostly, so if they want to make a push, they're going to have to make a long push back to a B if it's successful. Aikido is successfully smoked there. The smoke from Astra is able to block the site, and that would have been very bad for Jackson if he did not kill. Would have been an easy kill. And as Awoken waits, you can see that Helsing and Sova are just posted up waiting. Sky just watching the CT area, making sure that's safe. And that turret from Killjoy, so strong in that position, able to kind of make sure that the counter peek is countered. So, of course, great placements there from the util. Jackson almost catching Sova off guard with that mid push. He's able to back off, though. There's the jet smoke, at least obscuring vision enough. And you can see SMSU starting to make that hard push toward A side. They're definitely going to try there now that they probably have a feeling that most people are going to be going toward B. They're going to go for the fake. Driving up Garden, going toward A main.
30 seconds left.
And OCU's right there to meet them. It's going to be a firefight here. Piece of bread unable to take out Helsing. And yes, as I said, it's just starting to fly right now. A lot of people just got taken out. It's now a 3v2 situation, 3v1 situation now. Aikido with the op, taking out the Beast Mod, leaving Jackson all alone. And they will go for defuse. I mean, at this point, I'd probably just go for the save. But it looks like he's going to try and at least go for maybe exit picks, and it's unable to happen as Coop takes out Jackson, negating any chances of saving that rifle for next round. Another big round win for them, and now you can see the situation has drastically changed. You have the op here from Aikido being used almost as a clutch here for them.
Right there.
Eric the Great picking up the Marshall. You have a couple pistols, so got some rifles out, but it is looking a little staggered on the end of SMSU right now. As you can see, the sheriffs with full armor. There's some half armor buys. There's some Marshall buys. And on the side of OCU, it's doing really well. I mean, if we take a look at some of the record, a lot of OCU's ults are ready. So it's going to be very enticing to see how they're going to use them. They have ults right out the rear, so. And it looks like they're going to be trying to go for that A push again. But of course, Aikido does back off. You can see him kind of moving around in the back there. He's definitely watching from afar. So he's safe at the most part. But they are pinned down right now from the suppressive fire of OCU. But Jackson does take out Coop with the Sheriff. Ooh, and if they can take out Aikido, that's going to be big for them because that's one of their strongest plays with that op. The Beast Mod does begin planting.
You are divided.
And Jackson puts out the wall to try and make them not as, you know, in a very vulnerable position, I should say. Beast Mod's going to be watching around toward heaven. Aikido, though, does miss the op shot, but it almost is at death's door, but is able to escape. As Eric the Great watches on. Aikido, and oh my goodness. It was just a game of hide and seek at this point. Ulquiorra shooting Eric the Great in the back. It's just him against 3. He's probably going to take the ult and leave. I mean, that's what I'd do. I mean, that's this really strong gun. It's really been a good gun for them to play with. So having them get out of there with that for the save is not a bad idea. And it looks like that's going to be it for this one. SMSU will take it with the thrifty victory. But with that op being saved, it could definitely hinder some things for SMSU, because that is definitely one of their strongest weapons to have. And this is still a pretty even contest. There's still a couple more rounds left for OCU to at least come back and make some moves. But we'll have to see how it goes in the long run. Looks like SMSU is going to try and go for the B-side push again, using that spike to just kind of hold off. If they can get a pick, then they can go in for it, but if they don't, they're definitely going to try and move away. Again, that smoke blocking Aikido's vision for just a bit to keep him off of that mid-push. So Aikido's going to walk through it, and that's going to cost him big time as he gets hit hard by Jackson. Was not able to convert the kill, though. But it's definitely making Aikido a little shaky in the boots. The Beast push still looking a little hectic at the moment. Ulquiorra is going to go for the heal on Jet. She was hit pretty bad there by Jackson, as he's waiting in mid just in case he comes back around.
Flight.
Elias hitting that Sova drone, making sure he does see someone on mid. Making sure that they know that. Yep, in courtyard, there's the sky. Jet's also there. Awoken throws out that smoke. And it looks like they're going to go for that A push. They're starting to move through the garden area in the mid. And it's going to be a pretty close battle here. A lot of close quarters, so definitely don't want to be abusing nothing. Aikido takes a piece of prey with Ulquiorra getting a 2-piece.
Spike down A.
Will Jackson Beast Mod.
Remaining.
It's now just one person.
Left.
Awoken, stuck in a situation on site. Sova and Sky taking the high ground here. And at this point, I mean, Awoken's going to try and hide in hell. Hopefully trying to maybe make something happen, but Elias is right there to pick it up. Big play there by OCU as they're able to get the kill. 4-5 now. This game's getting closer and closer by the minute. And he does keep the op and gives it right to Aikido, who's been doing real good with it. So it's obviously the best choice of action to give it back to him. Let's see if they can try and make something out of this. This could become a tie game at this point. And I mean, we still have a few more rounds in this half to make something happen for OCU. But let's see if SMSU is able to maybe try and negate that from happening. Again, going for a default, just trying to see who can get kills and where we go. The recon bolt immediately destroyed. And as we get into this one, you can see that Aikido is watching Awoken And
Here.
Eric the Great. Oh my goodness, what an op shot. Misses though, but Jackson with the headshot to Coop. Crazy just trying to shoot through the smoke like that, but hey, if you can hit it, then, you know, gotta respect it.
Healing over
Goes
here.
for the heal. Yep, good healing there from the B-spawn. Gotta help out the team in some way, shape, or form, especially now. OCU down a man here. Aikido still watching A, but at this point, SMSU's fully moved into the B push. The Seekers are out, and they're going to start making some moves here. As the bullets start to fly, he does go for the door, trying to close that mid off. Getting hit by Ulquiorra, though, is awoken with Jackson picking up Helsing. Oh, and Ulquiorra takes him out. My goodness, it's down to just Aikido with the op. And he's going in with the knives. But it's not gonna happen. The Opper has been killed. Beastmod will take this one for his team. Now 6-4 as we enter the penultimate round of the half. And as we get to that half, it starts to look pretty even down the middle. At least in terms of how they've been doing. But look at the econ here from OCU. It's pretty staggered. A lot of, not too many rifles being chosen, mostly pistols and Spectres, not anything to be crazy about. And on the side of ults, they do have ults, so they might have to use those, or they might be saving it for that final round of the half. Oh, but Helsing caught in the black hole, almost had hit with the stun. And it looks like this one's going to be mostly toward A. That jump, though, might have eliminated somebody, and there you go. They're starting to make some moves here with the rifles. Coop is setting up some vision, but Jackson takes out Elias and Awoken to Aikido. Coop able to take out Awoken, but the piece of bread's able to get that trade. It's now 2-4 now. Not looking too good for OCU. And as they begin to back off, they're just starting to make another move. They probably have a feeling that a lot of the people on A are mostly dead, so they might as well go for the open spot, and OCU has no idea. I think they're starting to suspect it now. Now that they know that they're not going to be, they're at A, completely just disregarding them for that whole reason. Getting that bomb down, getting that econ for that final round would be really good for them. And as Helsing, Sky begins to make moves, Helsing is taken out by Eric the Great. With Ulquiorra trying to make another move, but it might not be the play here. Eric the Great going to be trying to go for another peek. Is Ulquiorra going to catch him off guard? He does get it on piece of bread, taking him out, and now going to go for Eric the Great, but is immediately picked up by Jackson from behind. It's now going to be 4-7, finishing up that penultimate round.
Last round in the half.
Now you got to buy everything you got to get. If you didn't get any good econ last round, you're going to be kind of screwed, but you know, we're looking at that right now. It's all rifles. All rifles, all heavy armor. They're going in for this last round. And looking at ults too, they still have, at least on the OCU side, 4 people with ults, which is looking really well, especially when you have Killjoy ult, Asher ult, you have Sovas that can get some guaranteed kills if hit. I mean, they got a lot of versatile tools. Maybe they can bring it around for this 5-7, or it might become 8-4 in this closely contested matchup. The ult does come out. Let's see if he can get anything with it. Does not decide to go for anybody, or that doesn't hit, and he does go for the wall in the back. Attacker Killjoy going for the ult now, with the defender Killjoy also hitting it. And now they're just throwing out all kinds of ults. Piece of bread does get tagged, but is able to kill Helsing, and it's going for that defender Killjoy, which does get destroyed. The attacker Killjoy detains a player. And Jackson will take out Coop. Awoken takes out Ulquiorra. They go for the door, and Elias is in a bad spot. Chilling in CT as we just witnessed an absolute domination. As Aikido takes out Jackson, though, it's going to be up to him to clutch this 1v4. Bomb is down. Goes for knives, does take out Aikido. Aikido now taking out Awoken as well. There might still be a chance. He knows he's probably in cubby. He does not decide to look there. interesting move there. I mean, I thought he would have known. He saw the dog coming out of Cubby.
Switching
That would have
sides.
definitely gave it away, but I guess not as we enter the next half. And Frozen, what do you think about this game so far?
I mean, so far, it's just turned out. I can't really what's going on.
Yeah.
But SMSU really have been covering a very good.
Yeah, they've done a very good job in just holding down the sites, and now we get to see them on defense. You know, with Killjoy being on B, that's going to be very good to just close off that entryway. There really is only 2 ways in, and mid can be so heavily contested that they have to kind of go through garage if they want to get onto site. But it looks like they're not even going to think about going to B. They're just going to go right to A. Might as well pistol round, right? Might as well try it.
Revealing area.
Arrow goes out. And
Right
it's
here.
immediately destroyed. Shooting at the smoke, maybe hoping to hit something. And as we're seeing this round progress a little bit more, it's starting to become less aggressive. They're going to be a little more coordinated in their attempt to push in. Unable to get the kill on Awoken as she goes back into the smoke. Oh my goodness gracious!
Down A.
She's getting hit by that turret, but it's not affecting her, at least with that 3K. And yeah, OCU just completely crumbling to SMSU's defense here, as they might have to think about probably going for a rotate. But it looks like they're going to go for
Last player standing.
Character Rate takes out Coop, and Piece of Bread takes out Helsing with a 9-4 victory on this one. Devastating loss there for OCU. They were really hoping to get something there, but in the end, it just wasn't enough for them. So it's truly unfortunate.
Time out.
And at this point, round 14,
Alarm bot out.
you're looking at a pretty devastating loss for OCU. And at this point, you're thinking, maybe we should just try and recuperate, try and come back for game 2. Start maybe thinking about what went wrong in this map and hopefully trying to make some moves here. And as they begin to make that move toward A, it's starting to look... Oh, wait a minute. It looks like they're going to try and back off just a little bit here. Asher with Spike, though, trailing behind. That could be very dangerous if she gets caught. And as the shots begin to fly out, you can see that the whole OCU team is starting to make that move to the other side of B. Just going to try and make some kind of moves here. You can see Asher setting up for smokes, any kind of traps, whatever they need. And you can see they're posted up in B right now. SMSU completely, you know, you have Piece of Bread watching that entry. The one is triggered, is able to get the kill, and Jackson with 2 kills there, completely destroying OCU in. Oh, Mike, I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. And unable to take out Eric the Great. My goodness, another hard-hitting loss for OCU as SMSU just comes away with that victory. And looking at Econ right now, it's looking real good for SMSU right now. You have the Marshall. I mean, you're going for more like bonuses at this point because they're just trying to save up a little bit. But OCU's definitely in a spot where they have to force here. It's a 10-4, and looking at it, it's not looking too hot. And there it is, Okiora taking out Jackson here with the Phantom, trying to go for a sheriff kill, but it was unable to hit, and it looks like they're going to be making the move through mid. Very risky, especially with no visible way to really get past them. No way to block that vision from the courtyard in the market. Looks like they're going to be either trying to go for that A push or just going up through B mid, trying to enter through the market. But Eric the Great watching, making sure nothing's going on. He might be able to catch somebody off guard, and he does. Taking out Aikido, and Ulquiorra is able to pick it up, but still, they have that information. They know that they're in mid, and so now they're going to batten down the hatches and try to defend B as best as they can. But they're full pushing in now. And it's up to the piece of bread to make some moves. He does get a kill on Ulquiorra,
30
but
seconds left.
Atlantis Helsing able to take him out, and they have full control of B. Spike is planted. And they're sending out the dogs, trying to see what they can find.
Enemy tagged.
Beast Mod and Awoken stuck in CT. They have full control. Spike's planted in the far corner of backside, so they definitely have a lot of options. Awoken, though, is going for the push around the staircase. Takes out two and is unable to pick out Helsing, but that could have been a really big clutch play for SMSU, but at the end of the day, Helsing does take it for the team, helping them out with a big clutch play. And it looks like at this point, you know, it's still 5-10, there's still a chance for OCU to probably come back here if they play like they were playing in those past couple of rounds. Very methodical, very smart, just taking the easy shots, not going for anything too risky. They can definitely hold their own, but it is going to be a tough hill to climb. Beast Mod's beginning to move back just a little bit. Just going to try and stay on site a little bit more as the shots are flying. Awoken unable to pick up any, but she does kind of graze a couple people. Beast Mod's going to definitely back up, close the door behind him, and sit mid. Yeah, Ulquiorra was searching for sight. He sees that it's open, so maybe they might come back and go in, but SMSU is making them want to think that. But they are going up cat. So they probably might be going through that garden tree area just to make sure that there's no one on site.
Turret out.
The Beast Mod, though, was able to take out one. And now it's a 4v3 on the SMSU side as they're making that full push into site here. Elias beginning to put down the plant.
Spike planted.
SMSU starting to make moves. Jackson does take out Ulquiorra. The wall is up. So now it just becomes who can get who here. It's now 3-3. Bomb is down for attackers. Elias does take out Jackson, leaving these two to fend for themselves with Bomb down. Eric the Great, the piece of bread, though, able to come out with the clutch victory. My goodness, they both got that coordinated push. Great plays there by Piece of Bread, able to pick up the two for him. And what a play. It looked very dire for the moment, but then, of course, they just come back and make some big plays. 11-5 now as we enter what could possibly be match point if SMSU wins this next round.
Placing sentry. Placing alarm bomb.
See the Killjoy just planting the necessary things for the moment. Swarms in the doorway, got some alarm bots, just trying to cover that area off in the event they try to go for the push, but they haven't really done a lot of that. And we're looking at a little bit of just how their econ is looking right now. You see a shotgun from Jackson. That's definitely going to be an interesting one to see. He's definitely just going to go for some cheeky picks if they come this way.
Scout destroyed.
Ulquiorra, though, able to kind of catch him off. And they are completely in a disadvantageous spot. They are kind of hesitant to try and go for a plant, and Awoken just gets absolutely domed, and so does Eric the Great by Atlantis Helsing, just taking them out. That's going to put them in a very good spot. If they can take out that Sky,
I've got your
probably
trail.
go for the A push. The Seekers are out. Beastmod's gonna have to try to get out of there as much as he can, because he's in a bad match. Goes for the kill though. Takes out Coop, leaving Ulquiorra to pick up the scraps with that trade-off.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, and Jackson was just caught slipping, and so was the piece of bread with that 4K from Helsing. I'm not sure what Jackson was going on there. He just kind of stood there stationary, but that does give them the win, 6-11 now. As OCU is having a surge of momentum coming into this late round situation. We're looking at Econ. It looks like the piece of bread is going for, looks like we have 2 shorties coming out. Very interesting play to go for that. Looks like they're going to try and get them with some cheeky close quarter gunplay, and you know, if it works, it works, but we're going to have to see how it bends for them. Dog is taken out. Awoken's going to be pushed with the dog, and does get the kill on Aikido, but is unable to pick up Ulquiorra. Beastmod hit hard now. He's close to death. He's on death's door, so he's going to take the smart move and get out of there as best as he can. And you're looking now, at this point, OCU is just kind of scattered across the map. Looks like they're not going to go for that A push anymore. They might be trying to maybe try mid or try a different route through a garden. And as Helsing is trying to fight off the Sova in the back,
Scanning ahead.
Arrow does go out. Gonna try and see if he can catch somebody, but the recon dart is destroyed, but not before the ping is out. So he has a little bit of information to give off to his team. The dog is put out. Ulquiorra is going to go for that push, but the smoke up by Astra doesn't even matter. Completely discombobulated, just gets taken out. Ulquiorra begins to plant. Jackson, though, with a pistol play, taking out Helsing. And it's a 2v3. Piece of Bread and Jackson are going to have to commit to just communication at this point to try and do something here. Gets the back off. Coop was right there to pick it up. It's up to the piece of bread, but he's unable to get anything going with the shorty as Elias takes him out with that Vandal. It's now 7-11 right now. It's starting to move up ever so slightly. We might have a game back on our hands here. It was looking pretty bad for OCU in this game 1, but they are fighting and clawing their way up to make up for this one. They do want to take that first game in the series, so let's see what they do here. Mostly the same setup since, you know, last time. It's worked so far. Arrow does go out. It is destroyed, so he's probably going to have to take a little bit of information from that. Aikido hesitant to make the push through, but he is checking that cubby to make sure no one's coming out of that. And it seems that they're gonna try to go for this delay push, trying to make them think about it, but you can see Helsing with the Killjoy lockdown coming out. And they're gonna initiate it. They're going in for the full push. The ult though from Eric the Great, able to just hopefully get somebody. He does take out Ulquiorra, but it's going down here 3-4. Helsing taking out the piece of bread. No players got detained. They backed off and opened up B site completely. Awoken unable to get that mid, and Aikido with another kill to the Beast mod as he now watches as Jackson is in. Yeah, they know he's there. Ain't no way he's escaping that. The camera, the CT, he was stuck in a corner, and they were right there to pick it up. 8-11 now. A strong showing here from OCU in these past 3 rounds. And as you can see, the Econ side, the record too. I mean, Helsing's been doing really well. Awoken's been doing really well. The ults are somewhat in between the teams. Most teams have to get a little bit more, but you can see Piece of Bread has his ult ready, so I'm sure once he knows that someone's around, he's probably going to put it down. And as we take a look here, Eric the Great still so far away from that. Maybe if he can get that ult, that would be really beneficial for him. Okiora is going to try and go for the orb, and he is going to back off. Looks like they were playing for orb and then backing off to go somewhere else. Smoke is up, so Beastmod's not able to see what is going to happen. And they're all going quiet as well. The walk, that's definitely going to do it. And Beastmod has no idea. As he just... Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Beastmod's getting hit by the turret. Oh my goodness. Ted had no idea.
I've got your trail.
And now the Seeker... Yeah, no. SMSU was completely confused. No idea where they went. And now they're going to go on to A. They have most of A taken. Enough time to plant for sure.
Spike
And they do have the time. They put the spike down. And now SMSU scrambling to make moves here as they were completely mixed up by this play by OCU. Elias getting hit, getting some kills for his team. Aikido takes out Basic Red, but Jackson with Helsing with that sniper from the Sheriff, unable to convert on the Sova. Shot from behind, and there's the double kill from Coop. My goodness. SMSU had no idea what to do there for that play. Completely turned around, and look at the econ there from OCU. It's very high. I mean, Elias has 8,000, so he can definitely buy op for somebody, maybe Aikido if he really wants it. But yeah, no, this game is starting to get really close. SMSU, I can't think that they're not starting to get a little desperate at this point. Now they've given up 4 straight rounds in what looked to be an easy win for them, at least in game 1, and now they're starting to fall apart here as the score gets closer and closer to tying up. Beastmod watching A as best as he can. They're being very hesitant to try and push in, but that's kind of what did them in a couple times. Those delayed pushes has done OCU a great, it's given them great advantage
Destroyed.
in the situation. They tend to just wait till they expend a lot of their util, and then they just go in for the kill. You can see most of the util is put on B side. I don't think they had any idea it was going to be A. Elias takes out the Beast mod, and they're starting to move in with the push. Awoken is there to maybe pick up somebody on Heaven, and he does with the crispy hop, and there it is again, taking out Okiora.
Down A.
And she's definitely going to back off. I mean, getting 2 kills with that is very good. But they are still going to commit to the plant. My goodness. Ooh, no idea. Awoken though with the 3rd op kill. Perhaps she's trying to go for some big plays here. It's down to Awoken with the op in Heaven. Turret is up. They know that she's still there with the knives out, but is unable to take her out. The suppression from the turret, Killjoy and Sova just pinning her down. That is not gonna. That's it. Honestly, 11-10 now. 5 straight rounds in a row for OCU, coming up from behind, and we're getting close to what could possibly be sudden death, or even the win. And you can see Awoken's econ has been absolutely drained. She does go for the rifle though, and everyone else going for pistol, which is a very interesting play. I'm surprised they've decided to go for this, but in a situation like this where you've lost 5 straight rounds, really anything can happen. And yeah, we saw, that econ again. She decided to go for this pistol, and she gets immediately shot down by Coop. And Coop also takes out Eric the Great. SMSU scrambling to make a play here as they are in a tight situation. Sky all alone here, and one false move could definitely do something, but Beastmod's able to pick up Coop, who's heavily injured. But Helsing takes out the Beast mod, and they're gonna set up shop here. And Aikido unable for Jackson to get that kill. He just had no idea. Completely outplayed there. And now Okiora puts down the spike. It's up to Killjoy, and it's looking dire. The Sova drone is out. It does make him back off a little bit. Now they know, but Helsing, my goodness, with the kill. This game has just gotten a lot more interesting. It is now 11-11, 6 straight rounds lost. Awoken does pick up the op for her team. SMSU has a chance. There is still one more round between the two, and then we go into match point. And as you can see, the guns on display here for SMSU is a diverse variety, to say the least. We have bulldogs, ops, and rifles. Meanwhile, OCU has full rifles, full util, full armor. They're just going in here.
Concealment.
And it seems that it looks to be a full-ish push up. Kind of being a little hesitant like before, with Astra now watching the mid rotation or flank to make sure though no lurkers make any moves here. And you can see SMSU completely spread out. No idea where to go here. And you can see that OCU is just cooped up in that tiny corner and spawn, just trying to make a move, or at least making them waste util as much as possible. Oh wait, we can see here that Coop is starting to make that move. Probably going to go for the flank, but Eric the Great is right there. This could be very dangerous, and Coop does get domed there. And of course, the Killjoy ult from the attacking side is going to hinder them. Meanwhile, Piece of Bread hanging in hell, making sure nothing is happening, trying to hold the line as much as he can for the rest of his team to come in and make a play. Aikido takes out Awoken and the Piece of Bread before the Beastmon could get there and take him out. 3v3 with 10 seconds remaining, but he does get the plant. Seekers are getting flown out. Swarm grenades are getting flown out. We are just out here getting in real chaos. Swarm grenades are getting tossed around, and then he's Helsing is right there to pick up with Sky. She does get hit. Jackson with the Bulldog. But Elias takes out the Beast Mod, leaving only 2 left here.
One enemy remaining.
But this could be the clutch situation for them if they can get it here. Completely turned around though, but it's Eric the Great with the clutch. Almost looking bad. 3 health points. My goodness, he was in a bad spot, but he was able to pick it up. That could have been very disastrous. It could have been 7 wins in a row for them, but they are able to finally get into match point now. After 6 long, tedious rounds, they're able to get back in it. Let's see if they can end this and put it away for game 1.
I got enough time to go into the
as we enter this possibly final round for this game. And it looks like they're going to switch it up a little bit. They've been trying a lot of A pushes, delaying it at least, and maybe doing something else after. But now, it looks like they're just full sending it up B. Let's see if Eric the Great is able to catch them off guard here. He does throw out the arrow. It is destroyed, so he has a little bit of an inkling to know that somebody's here.
Hawk out!
Flash in the smoke. Eric the Great stunned. He's just going to go for shock darts, though. He's getting tore up. He's going to need some assistance here. Eric the Great does take out Aikido, though, but is immediately domed by Ulquiorra. And again, now it looks like they are backing off of B. Even though they kind of had control for the most part, they are deciding to leave now. Perhaps taking a different route. Let's see what they do here.
Turn out.
And you can see that SMSU is throwing util, and the whole time they were just in mid, completely just taking them by surprise. Elias, though. Oh, well, I mean, this is the 2-2. This is a 2v2. Match point on the line here. If not, we go into sudden death. He's going for the spike on A. And SMSU was completely sidewinded. Thought they tried to go for that rotate, but in fact, they were still on A. And they just made the biggest advantage. Now they have bomb. Now they have to work retake both in heaven. Well, Well, the OCU team is in A main. And as he gets on point, they gotta hear it now. They gotta know that at least somebody has made it. They're even shooting at the spot. They gotta know now. They're shooting out the arrows. Here comes the ult from Sova. As he does hit, but it doesn't kill. And they're able to secure it. Kennedy is, oh my goodness, I just
Defenders
said it.
win.
My God. Awoken is so lucky with that one. I can't believe it. She almost got killed by that ult. If she got killed by that ult, that would have been it. But my goodness, they secure it. Game one, a very hectic, close game. Top players for sure on both teams is going to Helsing and Awoken. But my goodness, that was clutch. Big plays there by SMSU. She's Awoken's able to take them out with luck on their side. That is for sure. But great job from SMSU to secure game one. We will be right back for game two. Don't miss it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for this SMSU official tournament game. We're here with game 2 after SMSU almost gave up a big win from OCU going into this 1-0 game 2. I'm here with Frozen. If you want to just tell me a bit about what you saw in the last game and what possibly OCU could probably improve on from that last game, because they did really well. But at the end, you saw they came out with the loss. So if there's any way they can improve, what would that be?
Yeah, I mean, when they would start, they'd just go straight into the map.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have someone watch mid to see where they were. So I feel as if they could on an icebox have at least one mid, so that way they
Select
can get
your
that
agent.
recon for the rest of their team.
Yeah, and as we're looking to, OCU's has, usually with Astra, but it looks like they're actually going to change it here. They're not going to be doing the Astra lurk play. They're going to actually change it up a slight bit, going for Viper and trying some stuff with that. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, with the Icebox being such a vertically hindered map with so many high spots, definitely don't need the use of Astra for this one. But as we go into game 2, I think the biggest thing for me that I saw was, with that 6-round loss, it it just became an act of desperation, and hopefully we don't have to have another moment like that again. But we're gonna go into it here.
Yeah.
As we start round 1. So, Frozen, you've been on Icebox, right? Like, you played a
Yeah.
couple times on Icebox. Yeah, like this map has a lot of verticality. It's one of the more vertically challenging maps, so it's definitely going to be a change of pace from last game for sure.
There's a lot of spots on A site. If you're not watching, it's really easy to get dinged.
Here.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, with the pistol round too, I mean, I guess, a ghost might be your best friend for this one, just because of that range and damage you can get that you just can't really get with the classic from far away.
Right.
But of course, without the Sage on SMSU side, I mean, it's going to kind of hinder them a little bit when it comes to walls, and for defense especially, so.
Spike down A.
I have the spike.
Yeah, it takes the win too, and it's now a 4v4 situation.
Gun here.
Spike planted.
And it looks like they're gonna try and back off just a little bit. The spike down, they're gonna try and just set up for possibly.
One enemy remaining.
And oh my goodness, yeah, they just took care of that. What do you think the biggest problem was from OCU in that round? Because it looked like they had bomb down, and then they just completely left it open to be taken.
Right, you would have thought that they would have at least kept a couple on, maybe have one back off, just so that way they have that little bit of range, just in case one does get knocked.
Yeah, it is a little unfortunate that they just kind of gave up the bomb and just let them take it like that, but it is 1-0 now with SMSU up
Biggie, Sova.
round. But as we look here, you have Eric the Great in mid, which is very beneficial, especially if you can get
Scanning ahead.
ping on him. And you can see, you have Awoken just chilling with Marshall now. Could be a dangerous spot.
Looks like they're going with that silent rotate 2B now. Nope, mid.
Ooh, yeah, they're going right up the mid. Maybe going underneath tunnel to B. Or maybe even going in tunnel. Yeah, they're making the move in the kitchen, but the healing from Sky, that's gotta be enough. Oh my goodness. What a interesting firefight we just saw there. Jackson almost got 2
Revealing area.
kills in that situation.
Spike planted.
Looking at, yeah, no.
One
Got
enemy
bomb
remaining.
down. Eric the Great taking out Coop. Again, the situation repeats itself. They plant bomb and then it's just open season for them. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Aikido taken out by the piece of bread. Again, that problem seems to persist, Frozen, that they just tend to
Back off on the bomb.
It is over.
I really don't get it.
yeah, and you can see that with Jackson's ult almost being ready here, it's definitely
Out
gonna
of
be
charge.
helpful for them to be using that. But I mean, they seem to be doing really well so far anyway. So now, Frozen, if you were on this map, if you were coaching the OCU team right now, of course you can say that, you know, maybe just stay on the bomb a little bit, but what else would you possibly use for like a stratagem in this situation? Because it looks like whenever they do get the bomb down, it just doesn't seem to work out so well.
No, I'd probably tell them maybe have someone take a different route, or a couple of them, just so that way they have eyes in different directions.
Yeah.
They all line up going one way, so it's really hard to know where everyone is. Well,
You can see a little more of a successful push this time as they were able to get the plant off
Spike
here.
planted.
And yeah, you can see again they're beginning to
Blocking sight.
slowly back off of sight, just a little bit, not too much this time though.
it looks like they're starting to figure out that they gotta stay
Last
on
player
spot
standing.
more.
Yeah, they definitely they definitely took that one really well. They definitely moved up. They stayed a little, not too far off the site, but just enough to maybe get some peeks off of people. But yeah, that was a really good round for them.
The OCU is sitting really good with money right now.
Yeah. I mean, even looking at some of those ults too, a lot of people are very close to getting an ult, especially Killjoy and Sovas are both almost close to ult, if not one like hit away from ult. So we're definitely gonna be seeing it here sooner rather than later.
Toxins going up.
B push now. Zach the Great one using the drone.
Spike planted.
Your duty is not over.
Goodness, they are just.
She's trying so hard to get that.
Yeah, she was just shooting in the dark.
There
It's
they
working
are.
though. They are in a very, very
Last
bad
player
spot.
standing. One enemy remaining.
My
Why would
goodness,
that come back?
that almost
Wow.
became a very different round. That could have been very good for OCU to get that one, but of course it just fell out of their hands. Eric the Great with the big clutch victory, putting this up 3-1 now. And you can see that Jackson has his ult ready to go. And that's definitely going to be very helpful once they decide to get down into a point and maybe start planning. Of course, you also have Jet with her ult. Viper has her ult. So I get the feeling a lot of ults are about to get thrown out here. And unfortunately, Sova does not have
Get out of my way.
side either, so no counter.
Poison orb emitting.
Viper with her smoke on B, hoping and praying with that judge.
Yeah, if she can get somebody off, that would be a very good play for her. The trade.
Placing swarm grenade.
Jet's coming up to
Initiated.
Oh, and there it is. Yep. Defender Killjoy. Let's see how they try to counter this. This could be a very dangerous
One
spot.
enemy
Yeah, no.
remaining.
Almost a double kill in the win of the round there.
Recalling my bot. Swarm grenade out.
Spike planted.
Goodness. Had no idea. That peeker's advantage is dirty. And again, you're starting to see those cracks begin to form again in OCU's game. I'm not sure what's going on their side, but almost some input pros possibly.
I mean, it kind of looks right now. They're just
Recalling my bot.
saving off a little. Maybe try and get that big comeback mid-round.
Yeah. I think from what I've seen, yeah, you can even look at some of the econ on OCU.
Placing
They are
alarm bot.
kind of looking real down bad, if I do say so myself. A lot of pistols, maybe a Marshall or two, I don't know, but what I've seen from them so far has been not good, to say the least, on their side. Hopefully they can maybe make something happen.
Turret out.
My goodness. Two-piece.
Spike down A.
She on her Cabela's big game hunter right now with that sniper. Making big moves. And yeah, they just back off. I mean, that's a smart move, Frozen. I mean, if I just watched two of my people just get murked with the op, I'd back off too.
Yeah, and a matter
One
of a
enemy
couple
remaining.
seconds, too, so
Flawless.
Oh my goodness. I gotta say, that was
Swarm grenade
that
out.
was clean. That was a clean bit we just saw there from SMSU. That two-piece with the op and then the three-piece from the Beast mod just cleans him up.
Here.
SMSU has figured out their games from the first game.
Yeah. This is a definite difference from the last game. It's a little similar in terms of how it started. They are definitely a very late game team from what I've seen. They tend to do,
Scanning ahead.
you know, they don't do the best early and then they start to gain momentum later. But hopefully that doesn't mean too late. Missed the op. That's gonna be devastating.
Spike down B.
I've got your trail.
Welcome to my world.
Op and op.
I am the hunter!
Does secure a kill on that ult there from Sova.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
I have the spike.
And in this 1v2 situation,
One enemy remaining.
it was a valiant effort. It was definitely a valiant effort. But they do secure the win, the first round in a while for them. And do you believe that this could possibly be that late game shift we were talking about where they tend to get better over time? Could this be the start of it?
I feel like it could. They have that off now, so
Yeah, with Aikido on op, that definitely... No, Aikido's not on op. No, it's Awoken. My bad, my bad. I keep seeing Jet, so I keep thinking it's Aikido. Not gonna lie. And so, now that they have op, this could actually be a good counter for them to maybe make something happen. Yeah.
Finished. Here.
Nope, you're taking out a piece of bread.
Last player
And,
standing.
yeah, no,
Swarm
it's
grenade out.
Spike down
4v1.
B.
In this situation, I'd probably decide to save. What do you mean?
Turret out. Toxin screen down.
I know.
straight off the bat with beast mode.
Yeah, that's crazy how he was able to hit it through yellow like that.
Toxins going up.
I would be a little mad if I was sitting on that keyboard watching that
30
happen.
seconds left.
So close.
Toxins going up.
I've survived much worse than you.
Wow. I mean, that could have been a big round for Coop. He was able to get 2 picks, which is still really good, just based on econ. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's still unable to get the kill and get the win. And as you can see, those ults are starting to get ready. You can see Jackson does have his ult, but so does Elias. So perfect counter for that, which can definitely change the tide of this game.
Take flight.
Inside. Had him locked down with that one.
Hawk out.
Great Marshall play. Now, if I was OCU,
Lock in sight.
which place would you go to? B or A in this situation? I mean, they are going down B right now, and it does look to be working for them. But do you think that was the right play?
Spike planted.
You had 2 on 3 on B, sorry. So I mean, at this point, they were already on B site.
Feeling sight.
Watch this.
Pathetic.
Yeah.
Just get that.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, and as you can see, we were looking at OCU's situation, and again, had the bomb down,
Thanks.
only to be completely demolished.
Was that important?
7-2 now in the series. And again, Jackson still has ult as well. I mean, if he puts down that ult, that could be very good for them. But of course, Elias also has his as well. So that, I mean, I think that's what they're waiting for too. I mean, he's waiting for when that ult comes down, so that way, when the Killjoy ult goes down, he's right there to take it.
Right. Looks like they're gonna do a full mid push. Placing sentry. They want to go. Because that first game, they all went up through the ramp on mid, and they had a good plan.
Duck.
Ooh. Wow. That was a beautiful headshot.
Spike down mid.
Bye.
Yeah, it looks like
I got the
they're
spike.
deciding going into A now. Okay, so they decided not to go through mid. Let's see if this works out. Oh, whoa, whoa. No count out just yet, though.
Spike planted.
One enemy remaining.
Coop was right there to stop it. Jackson had no idea. Yeah, I mean, Frozen, we just saw a very good play there. And, I mean, if we're looking at just how it happened, that 4K from Helsing just made their game for them. I mean, it started off pretty slow, but they were able to take it up through mid, up to A, and was able to plant it, which is absolutely impressive to see, because you don't usually get to see that a lot.
I feel like if they keep doing that mid push, that's gonna be their best round.
Revealing area.
Yeah, I think the strongest parts of Icebox, I think, personally, mid, you can control mid, you kind of have control of where you want to go. And she's flat.
Your
Not
fault.
good.
Initiated.
There it is. Let's see if Sova can counter it, though. If he's going to go for the counter, maybe. He does have his ult still, but it doesn't look like he's going to go for the counter.
Poison orb emitting.
Nowhere to run!
He did, and I think this was going to be
One
the plan
enemy remaining.
all along. It was not for the play to kill the lockdown. It was just for post like plant,
Last round
which is
before
also
the
a
switch.
smart move, as you saw there. It clutched the round for them, so he came up with the choice: either use it for that lockdown or wait for the fuse, and I think he came out with the right answer. And just looking at Econ right now, Awoken's looking really dire. Wasn't able to buy any rifles, so she's looking like she's gonna stick maybe just pistol. And even Eric the Great looking kind of interesting as well. He only has a rifle and half shields.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, no, this is definitely around that. Might
Seek
prove
them out.
a little bad for him. Let's see how it goes.
Welcome to my world. Toxin screen down.
Spike planted.
Scanning ahead.
My goodness, there's so much
Last player
smoke. There
standing.
is literally nothing to see right now. Yeah, I mean, they came out with a flawless as well, which
Flawless.
is, in that chaotic situation, coming out flawlessly unscathed is pretty good econ-wise, but I
Switching
think that's going to be
sides.
the end of the half, so now we get to see OCU on defense, so maybe they can turn it around here. What do you think about that, Frozen?
I mean, we did at the beginning of the first game, we did see that OCU had a really good defensive stand. So I feel like they could have the same here on Frozen.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those, hopefully turning the tides, and you can see that Aikido's already going for that, meta, put the wall into kitchen play, which is definitely going to take them out if they ever try to go up mid, so
Definitely slow them down and make them turn.
that's right.
Toxins going up.
Got him.
Out that they're all going in. From Beach Bay right now. Viper is sitting mid.
Yeah, that's going to be the play. If you're going to have one person stay in the back to watch maybe rotation,
Toxins going up.
doesn't look like they're going to be rotations.
Enemy killed. Oops.
Oh, the dash. The dash
Last
after
player
2K.
standing. Spike planted.
And it's going to be SMSU with the victory, but my goodness. I mean, Awoken almost got a 2-piece, maybe even a 3-piece if that dash didn't hinder her when she hit the wall. But right now, it's still looking like SMSU has this one kind of locked down for the moment.
I'm curious to see how they're gonna split this. Looks like the same as last time. Sage coming up mid. Viper and Jet on B.
And you would think they could maybe try and go for a switch up, but I mean, with SMSU going up B main now, full sending it actually, it's maybe it was a good thing they kept it that way.
Toxin screen down.
I don't even know what Coop
One
was
enemy
thinking.
remaining.
Out there with just a classic to challenge them, but he does get absolutely destroyed as we enter this whoa could have had some kills there. He did get one off, but Jackson came from behind, and it's now 10-4, so it's looking real dire for OCU. Is there any way they could possibly come back here, or do you think it's curtains for them?
I don't know yet, because we kind of had this last game where we were up 2-11 at SMSU, and OCU came back and got it 11-11. So
Let's go.
I'm not gonna say anything that I mean SMSU could have this hurts right now, but OCU, when it's do or die, that's when they do their thing.
Yeah, it's like they flip a switch and they're like, now let's play serious. The
Right.
gloves are coming off. Yeah.
We have just Jet going A.
Being a little hesitant actually towards the B side as well.
Bot coming back.
Toxin screen down.
And as we just saw, Ulquiorra did take out Awoken, which leaves their Jet.
Time to hunt.
Might be thinking that it's time to rotate to an A side.
Scout destroyed.
Scanning ahead.
And here they go again.
30 seconds left.
Rotating a second time. You don't usually see a lot of double rotating in Valorant, so this is kind of interesting to see.
Well, now they're gonna have total control of B as OCU sat at A, maybe thinking they were gonna try to come back.
And we just saw that killed. You just saw Jackson trying to go for the mid to catch him off guard, and he was taken out immediately. Ulquiorra's taking up a piece of bread as well.
Revealing area.
Last player standing.
Man, that could have been big. That could have been big for Eric the Great there if he could just get a couple more kills. But
Thanks.
it looks like now that Helsing has the op, and usually last game we saw Aikido with
Was
the
that
op,
important?
so it's interesting to see how Helsing's gonna do with it now that he's dead. But I'm you know, we just talked about how flipping, you know, they flip the switch late game when it's do or die. I think this is now that time where they can maybe, hopefully, flip that switch and come back here.
SMSU looks like they're gonna try and do a 2-mid push. Maybe see if. Well, we also have Helsing with.
Decides not to take the top of tunnel, but to go into tunnel, which might have been a smarter play, honestly.
Toxins going up.
And you can see that this is an absolute stalemate.
It is.
It is really just who wants to make the first move.
Headshot.
Helsing! I mean, that shot through the smoke might have just set it off.
Enemy mark.
You should run.
And the Killjoy is out. Let's see what they can do with it.
A fine death.
So it's killing off Elias. He's now gonna try and go for more.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god, the 3 Ps!
One enemy remaining. Clutch.
And everyone gets wiped out too.
For housing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're looking at a little bit more of that econ. Just take a look at OCU's econ. That man was trying to buy a rifle while everyone else was using pistols. But they decided to maybe, I won't do a rifle, I'll do a Marshall instead. You know, that's just to change it up a little bit. And it's, if it can work, it can work. But
It's like SMSU's gonna full push A and roll out OCU.
Time to hunt.
The hunt begins.
Scout destroyed.
Die.
oh, trade. And
Poison orb emitting.
gosh, this is looking bad for OCU right now.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
We tend to
Oh my god, my boy
Headshot.
Aikido is. Oh my god, he's popping off.
He knows it's do or die now. He is just.
Your duty is not over.
With the revive, he threw the Marshall at Cooper to pick it up and fight with me.
Well, that might have been a good
Here.
grab.
Nowhere to run.
Yeah, but there's that Sova ult. Eric,
One
great.
enemy remaining.
And as valiant as that play was, you know, with that clutch kills there from, you know,
Match point.
It just, at the end of the day, it was not enough. It was either they take too long and bomb explodes, or they get to bomb and they die. And now we're at match point. You know, this game has been drastically different from the last one, and I feel like it might have just came down to, you know, character choice and map choice, because they changed up some characters a little bit. So, I mean, what do you think happened here that was so drastically different from the last one?
Don't get
Get
it.
out of my way.
It's definitely a lot more aggressive now that they decided to switch out Sage and also Astra. Like they completely changed up their game plan to be a little more aggro, and it's worked out for them.
Spike planted.
Welcome to my world.
Time to hunt. They're concussed.
Last player standing.
Oh my goodness! And with that, folks,
Attackers
that's
win.
a GG from SMSU. They're moving on to the next round with a 2-0 sweep in this tournament. This was a great showing by them for sure. If you had to make any big post-match comments about the team so far that you've seen from SMSU, do you think they have a prospect of making it further in this tournament?
I'd say yes. They definitely figured out that OCU is not an aggressive team, so they're fully taking advantage of that.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things that I saw too, especially since they swapped out that Sage and Astra, who are two very passive characters who tend to just sit back and let things happen. They changed it up. They went with Reyna, they got Viper, so they were just shooting out all kinds of utility, making some big moves, and it came out for the win. I mean, great job by both teams, but SMSU will take it. We'll actually be back around 5 o'clock for the next matchups for SMSU. So we will see you guys later. This has been Afro with my boy Frozen, and we will see you guys in the next one.